Hello everybody, Mr. Lego Lover 55 here, and welcome to another Lego set review. Today we'll be taking a look at the combiner model, the Bionicle combiner model for Skull Slicer, Skull Warrior, and Skull Basher. So as you can see here, I have it right here. I looked up the instructions online, I took apart the other sets, built this one, and I'm reviewing it here. So, I don't know why I've been really getting used to reviewing some of my sets a little on the carpet or something, or sometimes I do my target practice. So yeah, I think I need to get back used to recording here again because this is the original recorder studio. This is where I first started recording Lego set reviews, Bionicle reviews, all that. So, anyways, here we have a combiner model from Skull, Scorpio, Basher, and Slicer. So, there's not really a name for this in general. He has no name. He doesn't really have any story relevance at all. It's just a fun little combiner model. So, anyways, we'll be taking a look at his functions, color scheme, pretty much all the same stuff we normally do with sets, except for instructions boxes and all that and stuff. Yeah, and we're not going to take a look at new parts, because I already reviewed the actual sets individually. So you can go watch those videos right now if you want to. They should all be able to be watched. So yeah, go watch those if you want. I've reviewed all the summer sets. Now I'm just doing the other stuff, combiner models, all that stuff. So anyways, here we have this set. So, or combiner model. So its color scheme is, I can't really complain about the color scheme because it's a combiner model. And usually with combiner models, they don't really have a good color scheme, because usually a bunch of colors are just mixed in just for the use of parts. But for this one, it doesn't go as well as it did with the Skull Grinder, Skull Scorpio combiner model, but it still kind of works. We've got some of the light translucent colors like the trans lime green and the trans light blue, which is very nice. The purple, however, kind of breaks up that. You can kind of see it in the legs right there and these little spikes on the feet. So, yeah, kind of breaks up the color scheme a little bit. There isn't really too much for the color scheme, but for the functions, let's go over the build first. So the build is actually very, very unique, and, well, it's got 4 arms, so Skull Slicer, so kind of use that thing. But they did it differently from Skull Slicer, so they didn't use the same thing they did for Skull Slicer. They just did the normal gearbox and then just made the arms really long and then put 2 ball joints on each side. We've also got this weird little purple horn thing on the top with hands holding them, as you can see. I guess you can pull those down if you want to, up and down. So yeah. Another thing is that in the instructions, it just leaves the Skull Slicer mask right there, the Skull Spider mask. It just does that in the instructions. Probably maybe he got rid of a skeleton or something, and yeah, only the skull was there. So yeah. Pretty much the build. He's got 4 weapons. He's got 2 of these axe blades, and then he's got 2 of these sword pieces, which is pretty nice. For the feet, they are very, very large, so stability shouldn't be a problem. And we've also got some friction joints in the ankles and in the hip, and we've got those on both sides. No friction joints in the arms, but that usually isn't too much of a problem. So, now onto the function. Of course, like any other Bionicle set, or for most of them, you can pop the mask off. There are 2 ways to do this. You can press on the back of the eye stalk. That's one way to do it. Or you can just press up on the horns. Just like that. If you want to, I think you could also replace it with the Skull Slicer mask that had in the instructions. If you want to, but you don't have to. I'm just going to keep it with the Skull Basher mask on for right now. So yeah, now onto the function. Oh yeah, we are all on the functions. Alright, so the second function would be, of course, the gearbox function. And it works like this. You just twist the yellow gear on his back and he does that. So unlike Skull Slicer, the arms don't go all over the place, and each side goes in the same each side goes in a different direction. This side goes up and down, I guess. When this one goes up, this one goes down. So, yeah. Just similar to all the other, just standard Bionicle sets. Just like that. So, yeah, it's different from Skull Slicer, but it's okay. Got these little things here, I guess little accent pieces. But other than those functions, there isn't really much else. Just those two functions. I really like how I just really like the gear function. It just works really well. But, anyways, that is pretty much it for functions. Now, let's see. We could go over, I actually think that this has been quite a short video. It's probably only going to be like 6-7 minutes or so. So, I think we've reached the end of the video already. There isn't really too much to go over with this guy. So, yeah. So, anyways, let's go over my likes and dislikes about the set. So, like I said, I really like the how they did the gear function. It just works really well. It honestly works a little bit better than Skull Slicer's gear function, because this one has like more control and you can actually bash and hit. Yeah. Another thing I really like is the stability. He's very stable, especially with those giant feet of him. And he's also got these translucent claws, which adds more stability, which is very nice. He's very tall, which I really like as well. What else? Gear function. That's yeah, that's pretty much it for likes. For dislikes, I'm not much of a big fan of the legs. They just kind of look short and stubby like Anu was, and I wasn't really a big fan of those legs. Just a little bit fat and stubby, I guess, for the legs. Not too happy about that. One thing I don't like is that with these arms right here, these blue ones right here, you can't really move them outward too much, and if you do, they end up breaking just like that. You can only move them out a certain direction with it. Whoops. That was not supposed to happen. That shouldn't really happen at all, only if you're like playing with it a lot. So yeah, you can only make these arms come outwards a little bit, but you can also like maybe like bring out those, I guess. So yeah. Other than that, there isn't really too many dislikes. I mean, the clashing colors I don't really care about. It's a combiner model, so what can I say? This thing, not sure what it is, but it's there. But anyways, I think that's the end of this video. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and keep building!